Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Barbados' Prime Minister says her government will not be mandating COVID-19 vaccination. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 6th October 2021. Details when we return.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. Despite the worsening COVID-19 situation in Barbados, Prime Minister Mia Mottley said she will not be mandating the COVID-19 vaccine. More in this Barbados Today news item.
She told last evening's COVID-19 update from Melara Court she won't undermine Barbados' social capital.
Now, even though there's a surge, we have the benefit of that. And it is that can help us stave off the level of deaths even as we fight through it. But it is also that will help stave off the level of serious hospitalization. And it is that will allow us to ensure that we do not cause more unemployment by locking down and more people to suffer by locking down. So my friends, we in this together. There's no other way to put it. And it is up to all of us to do the right thing as Barbadians. And I have every confidence that we will do it. And if we have to come week by week and talk with you, we're going to do so because that is the preferred route to mandating and forcing, because we do not want to lose the essence of who we are. Because when all is said and done, this country is 166 square miles, and all that we have is one another.
Meanwhile, United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres has praised Barbados' vaccination efforts, even as he raised concern that the world's largest countries are still hoarding vaccines, hindering the vaccination program worldwide.
He made the comments after touring several areas in St. John with Prime Minister Mia Mottley last evening.
I want to express my solidarity with the government of Barbados that has managed to vaccinate a meaningful part of the population, even if the hoarding of vaccines has made it very difficult for countries like Barbados to have access to vaccines. But inequality also in relation to climate change. There is one thing in which I do not agree with your Prime Minister. The most important intervention in the General Assembly was not mine, it was hers. She made a fantastic intervention in which not only she referred the substance of the problems that we are facing with a climate change that is becoming an existential threat for people and the planet, but she also made it with a passion and with a strength that really made everybody in the room be moved, and I think has made the consciences of many that are not doing enough understand that they need to change.
Barbados made history as the smallest ever country to host the UNCTAD Forum, leading a tour of officials to view the impact of the recent weather systems on Barbados. Mottley said the conversation about climate change must be tackled at a global level.
I want to also say to you that we were then able to visit some of our coastal protection work on the West Coast. As you know, the big issue of the time is the climate crisis as we get ready to go to Glasgow. And it is important for us to show what we are doing and why we are having to spend money on coastal protection at the very time that we also still need to be spending money on education and healthcare and all of the other things to make our society whole and to get us to the Sustainable Development Goals. But because of the crisis, the climate crisis in particular, we have to divert our spending
to be able to protect our people. It's ironic that we're meeting here at Codrington College. Some of the persons who lost their housing in Hurricane Elsa, our first hurricane in 66 years, are in fact staying here, and I want to thank Reverend Dr. Clark for being so kind and expressing, not only talking the talk, but walking the walk, and allowing us to be able to house some of the persons who lost their housing due to the last hurricane while we rebuild the houses.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Private vaccine initiative starts in Winchester in Jamaica. Details in this TVJ News item.
The next phase of the local vaccine effort is now underway, with at least one private health center administering close to 30 doses of vaccines on Sunday. The initiative comes after the government allowed selected private entities to administer vaccines. Now our news team visited one of the private vaccine facilities on Sunday. More Jamaicans received the COVID-19 vaccine on Sunday, but instead of going to one of the public fixed vaccination sites across the island, some Jamaicans opted to use one of the private health centers approved to administer vaccines. The Winchester Surgical and Medical Center is among 11 such facilities.
We are very proud to, give our community service as well. And so we invite people to come. It is free to the public.
Sasha K. Hudson says her second dose was due last week, but she was unable to make the appointment. A regular patient at Winchester, she said she was relieved when her Sunday doctor's appointment turned into a vax appointment.
I was legit gonna be trying to find somewhere in the week to go get that done. So you understand how perfectly just coming here today and having this going on today worked for me, and I got through in no time.
Another patient explained that he took his first jab at the St. Joseph Hospital. However, the Winchester Medical Center was in close proximity and would be less crowded. It's residents like these that the Ministry of Health is hoping will use the new vaccines facilities. But doctors say more private facilities should be utilized, as this could save the government from dumping vaccines.
Winchester had actually applied to become able to come and give the vaccine, because we realized that the numbers were at the arena. Numbers were a lot of people were turning up, and they had to wait hours, and some of them had to leave. So this should have been part of the program, get the private sector involved, that more people can get a chance to get the vaccination.
The Ministry of Health was forced to dispose of 60,000 vaccines because there was a low take-up and they expired. A woman who recently contracted COVID was eager to take the jab following her ordeal. She's encouraging Jamaicans to take the jab.
I caught COVID back in August, and honestly what I went through, I don't want to go through it again. And the symptoms, they are horrible, and if your body is not healthy, COVID is going to kill you. I did my necessary checks with my doctor. I came to Winchester. They counted the time frame from when I caught the COVID until now. So they're saying it's 6 weeks. So I'm over 6 weeks. So it is okay for me to do the vaccine.
The ministry says almost 500,000 Jamaicans are to get their second dose. The 11 private health facilities are expected to help ease the burden on the fixed sites and to increase access to the vaccines as the government pushes to inoculate 1.9 million Jamaicans by March 2022.
Over in Guyana, the Brickdam police station there has settled in at a temporary location in the St. Stanislaus compound following Saturday's devastating fire, which gutted over 80% of the buildings on the station's compound. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana reports.
Commander of the Division Assistant Commissioner of Police Simon McBean today said despite the setback, the police force remains ready to serve the community.
The inquiries is up and running. The traffic services is up and running. The CRT is up and running. All right. So those are our patrols are out in full force. So all our services, they're up and running.
Mr. McBean explained that additional works are being done at a temporary location to ensure the comfort of the displaced police ranks.
We are there's some minor work that is going on to get the ranks comfortable. Commander's office will be fully operational. So we are up and running.
McBean noted that while the space at the temporary location is not adequate, it remains workable and the ranks are now getting comfortable in their new spaces. The Breakdown police station went up in flames on Saturday, gutting several buildings in the complex and displacing hundreds of police officers. The government has indicated that it will be moving swiftly to rebuild the station. The Guyana Fire Service has faced some criticism for its response to the fire, but the fire service has since indicated that it responded to the blaze with several fire tenders from multiple locations in and around the city. Meanwhile, with more questions being raised about the origin of the fire that gutted the police complex, the Guyana Police Force in a statement last night reiterated that based on a confession statement which it has recorded, the fire was started by an upset robbery suspect who was in the lockups. According to the police, a suspect who has been identified as Clarence Green confessed to setting a fire to a piece of mattress from inside the lockup and throwing it out of one of the vents of the lockup into a nearby department, where the police said it caught on to several pieces of paper and eventually the fire gutted the complex. The police also claimed that 2 other persons who were in the lockups at the time have also provided statements to back up the alleged confession. The Breakdown Police Lockups is located in the front of the complex. Initial reports by persons in the area who witnessed the fire in its early stages pointed to smoke first seen billowing from one of the back buildings in the same complex. The fire quickly spread to the other wooden buildings, flattening them. At the site of the fire, debris was being cleared out over the weekend by heavy-duty equipment. Today, the main suspect was taken back to the scene. He was seen in the company of police officers. The fire has left hundreds of millions of dollars in losses.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.